What up? What it do? What it do? What it do, boys? Shout out to Perfecto. Shout out to Jew. Popping in the streets early. First one's in. We got Perfecto saying streets here. What's popping, homie? We got the lifting. We got the Jamaican flag. We got the smoke. And then Jew saying when Dana dropping, homie. When the hell is Dana dropping? Is he just going ghost today or what? I was low-key going to wait for Dana to drop before I went live, but then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I guess we'll be live when Dana goes live. We will watch it on here. I'm trying to pull up Google Chrome real quick. But yeah, you know, been a very slow news week, but we got some topics going for the day. As you guys see in the thumbnail, UFC being sued by its fans. Pretty interesting development. Very few details on it. In fact, I would say the details on the lawsuit are very scarce. I think like very popular X account, known like MMA attorney type content that this guy posts. He gives off vibes like he's an MMA attorney or something. Steve S. Nash. His work seems to be good, although he seems to have a heavy vendetta against the UFC. So I don't know how much I fully, trust everything he says about the UFC, because I don't think he's ever said one thing positive about the UFC. But, John S. Nash dropping a little snippet from a lawsuit where two UFC fans are now suing the UFC for essentially up in a little snippet, like inflating their pay-per-view prices, so to speak. Fans are now suing the overcharging us to watch these events. I mean, how much money, homie, looking to get back? Like $60? Overcharging us to watch I mean, shit, I don't know how much money you're going to be getting back from the UFC over this lawsuit. You might want to just drop it now before it ends up costing you more than it's going to earn you. But we'll look into it. It's very quick. It's a quick little snippet. I mean, I do have it bookmarked now before it ends up costing you more than it's going to earn you. So we'll look into it. It's right here. It's a quick little snippet. So we'll read over this, Mr. John S. Nash. But even like Kaposa laughing, he has the same reaction as me. My lawyer assured me this case is a slam dunk. See you in court. John S. Nash. It's like, what we suing about? $89? He has the same reaction as me. My lawyer. Like, what kind of damages can you get in return for that? See you in court. John S. Nash. It's like, what we suing about? What up, America First? And I'll sue UFC, Dana, Paramount if they don't get rid of Brandon Moreno. Damn, how dare you diss Brandon Moreno like that? What up, America First? And Henry scared of Uriah. He coming after midget's gold medal. Bro, Uriah ain't got shit on Henry. How dare you diss Uriah ain't got shit on Henry, in my opinion. And we're about to find that out in less than 24 hours. And we will be looking, speaking of, Henry Cejudo, Uriah, we will be taking a look at the RAF press conference. Now, I'm not going to promise we're going to watch Uriah and Henry's back and forth, although I'm sure we will kind of like peep into it. But the people's main event, the one we all want to see, Georgio versus Arman, we're tuning into the RAF press conference to mainly watch that. Lots of back and forth. I put that in the title too. Arman low-key cooked Georgio. Low-key cooked homie. And I mean, rightfully so. Giorgio's new in the game. He hasn't accomplished very much. That's no insult. It's just a matter of fact. Versus Arman, he already got the fan base. He's established in the UFC. He was, hours away from competing for a world title until he pulled out of it on his own. But, he's beat all the guys. He's certified. He's the #1 contender at lightweight. So going back and forth with Arman on that merit alone, off of accomplishments, not easy thing to do if you're Georgio. Then you add the money factor, because Georgio got the $1,000 Take Me Down challenge. Arman Tsarukyan, rich as hell, daddy's money. Who knows how daddy made his money, but he got daddy's money. So Arman, he's like, bro, $1,000? Like, what you want to bump it up to? 10K? Like, you don't got enough to really speak to me about how much we want to be betting. So don't be throwing out no crazy numbers like $1 million, 500,000, or anything like that, because you not in that bracket. We in different tax brackets. So that's why I'm saying, you know, Arman low-key cooked Georgio. But we'll watch that press conference. That could be a little teaser. And then, you know, Arman asking Georgio about his undefeated record in the streets after a reporter pressed Georgio about a rumor that's been confirmed by multiple of her sources, allegedly, that Georgio has in fact been taken down in the streets. He is not undefeated in the streets when it comes to $1,000 take me down, and he allegedly never posted the video. So the lady asked him about it, he responded, and then, you know, Arman pressing him like, oh, you're undefeated, why aren't you Olympic champ? So, well, I'll leave that as the cliffhanger for that topic, and then there's one more on the day. Usyk versus Verhoven. It's absolutely disgusting. It's getting to a point, and I've tried to warn you guys. You know, from the beginning, all I can say is I've been nothing but consistent about this from the very beginning. From when Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather got announced, to where Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano got announced, to where now it's Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao getting announced, to where now we find ourselves in the same spot with Rico Verhoven versus Oleksandr Usyk getting announced, as if anybody ever asked for this fight, as if there was ever any clamoring for this fight whatsoever. So now we got 4 fights on our hands, or maybe 3 because Mayweather Tyson's probably canceled. But we got at least 3 fights on our hands coming up in the Big 26 that no one asked for, that are being hyped like crazy. We have MMA Fighting posting, we got MMA Junkie, we got all the big blogs posting it, but me. But me. I'm the only one who calls my own shots here. I guess all the other blogs are puppets and are captured by the promotions. I don't know if anyone ever heard the term audience capture, but it seems like these blogs are captured by the promotions. They must post whatever these promotions, you know, cook up for us, whether it's a shit meal or not. You know, oh, Dana goes into Power Slap, boom, we're promoting it. You know, oh, Dana got a strip club, oh, we're gonna promote it. That's just a joke. You know, oh, Dana goes into Power Slap, boom, we're promoting it. Motherfucker, you guys let me go off for so long with this little echo going on. Oh. Okay, my bad about that. My bad. I think it just started because I plugged in my headphones, so that's my bad. I don't think it's been going on for too long. That always happens. Yeah, sorry about that. Every time I plug in my headphones, the audio starts playing. It's like some auto play that goes on here. Every time I plug in my fucking headphones, the I don't know, just 2 audios start coming in. I don't know why it like automatically unmutes, but that's my bad. Sorry about that. Juice says, my bad, I'm playing Ford at the same time. I thought somebody else would say something. LOL. No worries, no worries. That's my bad. That's my bad. Thanks for letting me know. Jew is just sitting there suffering through it. Okay. Where were we? Rico Verhoven. No, it was a bit, but was enjoying fighting through it. Yeah, my bad. I don't know how long that was, but you guys are warriors if you sat through that. So I'm just saying, you know, the fights that no one asked for, we find ourselves with another one. All the blogs are captured. What's poppin', Space Kid? All the blog, and then, Jesus Christ, America First in here saying all Brandons suck. I mean, the type of timing America First is on tonight is insane. But it's all good, America First. Much love. Back to what I'm trying to say. These fights no one asked for, the blogs captured by the promotions. They must post these fight announcements at all costs. They will not boycott it. So that's what's really annoying to me. And I think, honestly, number one, I think we should stop posting about it. Like, what's our duty to them? What's our duty to Ring Magazine and Rico Verhoeven and Oleksandr Usyk? Why do we need to post a bullshit fight announcement that no one's going to like? You know, these promoters should have a duty to us and not let us stink up our blogs by having to post shit-ass fight announcements and have zero engagement because no one's going to like something they never asked for. Go look at the engagement on this fight booking right here. And then do yourself a favor and go look at the comments as well. You're going to realize real quick, like, there's a reason why I don't give a shit to post this. I don't care to have something on my feed with 40 likes unless I'm getting paid for it. You feel me? Shit. And no one likes it. So there's just no point in posting it. I'm shooting myself in the foot doing, you know, Ring Magazine or whoever's hosting this event a favor. The announcement came. All right, well, then we got to drop what we're doing, and we got to see what Dana said. And I might have to fucking... Okay, here it is. He's announcing UFC White House fights this week. Check the Paramount Instagram. I've just been yapping, so honestly, I don't even... Okay, so this one just got announced, huh? This one just got announced. Prohaska versus Olberg. We already knew Joshua Van versus Tyro was booked. So what's the point in Dana announcing that one? We already knew Blades versus Hockett's been booked. We didn't know about Benil versus Manuel Torres. Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Okay. Wow. Daddy Dana honeydicked us all day for Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Olberg fight news. What's poppin', AD? What's poppin', homie? Interesting. Dana waited all day to give us Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Olberg fight news. What the fuck took you so long, homie? They were signing contracts still? Okay. We got Prohaska versus Olberg. It's a good fight. I mean, kiss Olberg goodbye. I knew Van versus Tyro wouldn't stand as the main event. Of course not. They're flyweights. Honestly, flyweights get treated worse in the UFC than women. I think we have to say that. Flyweights get treated worse in the UFC than women. Sorry for having the screen black there. Yeah, this is it. This is the fight announcement. Allow me to post the fight, boys. I mean, let me just chill on here for a minute. Let me post the fight. I'll read chats. So if anybody wants to drop their thoughts about bro, it's killing me that I can't do a poll in my own chat. I mean, I don't know what's worse. Me not being able to talk in my own damn house or me not being able to do a poll in my own damn chat. I honestly don't know what's worse. Aiden Ross had Topuria on the stream. Motherfucker cooked Jake Paul. He definitely cooked Jake Paul. We can maybe watch that if we have time. I wouldn't mind watching that if we have time. He cooked the shit out of Jake Paul, though, for sure. And I see Tony Sal saying Olberg gonna win. Tony Sal. Just mark my words now. Yuri Prohaska finna get off all up in that ass, Tony Sal. I can't tell you it enough. And yes, Jew, to acknowledge what you said as well, confirmed Alex moving up to to heavyweight. Confirmed. You know, we might as well, I mean, shit, if you're a crazy Kev, you might as well get the Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane graphic ready now. You know, crazy Kev, get the Pereira versus Cyril Gane graphic ready now. Mr. Connect the dots without any real confirmation, because that one's just as good as booked. Just as good as booked. Tony Sal, I'm telling you, I can only say it till the cows come home. You know, Prohaska finna get off all up in Olberg's ass. Olberg ducked Prohaska. And I've said it so many times to the point where I actually don't really care to say it as much anymore. But you just have to know, Olberg has ducked the shit out of Prohaska. He never wanted this fight. If he did, he would have taken it last year. No way Alex moves up for interim. Yeah, but what's the fucking legal precedent? I mean, I would love to know what the legal precedent is to strip a champion who's solely out because he got illegally fouled. And then to come to find out that the guy who illegally fouled him is the one who's going to get the undisputed shot. I mean, how crazy is that? If that actually happens, the UFC is just the wild wild west like definition, bro. Like there's no order, there's no structure. There's no rhyme or reason for anything. If Alex and fucking Cyril Gahn fight for the undisputed strap, bro, someone check on Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall needs to be on you know what watch. Because he's going to be down tremendously bad. And rightfully so. I mean, honestly, I would feel for the guy. I would honestly feel for the guy. Hey, this good news. Honestly, I like this fight a lot. I do like this fight a lot. I'm just curious why it took Dana so long to fucking announce it. I like this fight a lot. Yuri's going to be champion again. And it looks like Alex is moving up. Question is it for undisputed or interim? I mean, when it comes to history, bro, that interim is a huge asterisk on being a 3 division champion. You know? Shama to heavy is right, yeah. We were just talking about the drama of whether or not Shama's gonna fight for interim or undisputed, Juice Man. I mean, dude, this is killing me that I can't do a poll right now. What the fuck is going on? What the absolute fuck is going on? Not letting me do a poll? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Booked for UFC 327 in Miami. On what's the date? April 11th. Okay. Yuri Prohaska is just way too mentally tough, way too headstrong to take an L to Carlos Olberg. Anyone else agree with that logic? Yuri's way too headstrong to take an L to Olberg, bro. And honestly, the more intriguing conversation to be had right now is whether or not Alex is moving up for undisputed or interim, and when. There's a few months left. You know, we got a few months to get that shit booked. But okay, I'm making the post and then we'll continue the show. Sorry. And I appreciate the patience waiting. Hopefully you feel entertained while I've been multitasking. Yuri Prohaska versus, oh no, let's go light. A light heavyweight championship bout between and Carlos Olberg has been booked as the main event for UFC 327 on April 11th. in Miami on April 11th. And just for the record, everybody needs to know it. Carlos Olberg ducked Yuri Prohaska last December. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. I honestly don't even really got it in me to go into the whole thing. But and the reason why I don't have it in me, get this. The reason why I don't got it in me to go through that whole damn thing is because the excuse is such a high level cope. I mean, cope maxing at its finest. It's the craziest cope I ever heard in my life, and it's like mental gymnastics to explain, that bullshit that Carlos Olberg pulled last year. But essentially, Carlos Olberg was offered a fight against Prohaska on a specific date. Olberg turned it down, or as he likes to say, asked for it to get pushed back. The UFC says no, Prohaska wants to fight around this date. There's no pushing it back, yes or no. I'm pretty sure he says no, clearly, because they moved on. And then boom, they offer him a new opponent in Dominic Reyes. And he says, I'll take it. On that same date you offered me to fight Yuri Prohaska that I asked to get pushed back, I'll take it on that same date in Australia in front of my hometown crowd. Okay. And then what happened? Prohaska fought like a week and a half to 2 weeks later because that was the timeline he was on. He wanted to be in line to face the winner of Pereira versus Ankalaev. So where did Prohaska end up? On that card, fighting Khalil. During that fight week, they're asking about Olberg's big win over Dominic Reyes, the stoppage, and Prohaska says, fuck him. He had the opportunity to fight me in that main event, and he ducked me. He turned me down. He accepted the fight against Dominic Reyes instead. Soft. Don't even want to hear about him. Don't want to fucking answer questions about him. And that's when Olberg was forced to go on Ariel's show the following week and answer the question, which is when he delivered this insane level cope that I just explained to you. Then he tried spinning some type of narrative that Dominic Reyes was just more worth it to take the fight on short notice because of the upside off of beating a Dominic Reyes that he didn't see in Yuri Prohaska. I mean, did he really think that was just going to squeak right by us without us having any common knowledge of the rankings or the not the structure, but the rankings in the division? What the hell are you talking about, Olberg? It's one Google search to see that there's more upside off a win over Yuri than Dominic Reyes. Please, bro. Jake Paul level coping if I ever heard it. So now we find ourselves in this fight. Pereira looks like he's looking to move up. Dana gave him the cosign after Strickland's win over Fluffy Hernandez at UFC Houston. Dana gave him the cosign. He says we'd be willing to work with Pereira. So, fast forward 6 days, we got the announcement. Pereira basically vacated light heavyweight. Now it's Prohaska versus Olberg, undisputed. We have our answers now. And that leads us to this fight. Okay, and so with all that being said, there's actually not much else to say about it. That would be my my reaction to the card, my synopsis. You guys know I'm telling you. I'll tell you one more time, whoever missed it. Yuri Prohaska finna get off all up in Carlos Olberg's ass. Carlos Olberg, come April 11th, he's got 2 options. Maybe 3. He can either go out on his face, he could go out on his back, or he could go out on his side. He got 3 options. Okay, you got 3 options: your face, your back, or your side. But guess what? If you fall on the side, you got to roll to the stomach or the back anyway. So we'll go back and say he could go out on his face or he could go out on his back. His choice. Olberg, what's it going to be, homie? Because my boy Prohaska just climbed like he just free soloed his own fucking like El Capitan. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right. But Prohaska just got done free soloing El Capitan. If you know, you know. But shout out El Capitan. And then the Usyk Verhoeven, you know, there's not much more for me to say about it necessarily. I just wanted to kind of get this one off my chest and just tell you guys, stop supporting it. I think I was in the middle of speaking about Verhoeven and Usyk. And so what I want to say is you guys stop supporting it. All right. The media pages and the blogs, they're captured by the promotions. They will mindlessly post anything they announce. You slap a big name on there and they will mindlessly announce it. You know, they'll mindlessly post about it. Okay, so we got Pitbull versus Pico, a Bellator fight in the UFC. Interesting. And so at the moment, I'm just pulling it up because here it is. You know, Champ Browns don't owe this repost to these guys, yet they just do it off the love. You know, it's getting to a point. You know how you know, the whole clipping thing is getting to a point as well because these streamers actually pay out big bucks for clippers. You know, Aiden Ross, Neon, all these guys, they're paying out big bucks for clippers. And so now that you realize that they're paying out big bucks for these clippers, it's like, how much do guys like me, right, these blogs, want to continue clipping you off for free? Right? And it's the same thing here. Honestly, I want some money to post this. I'm going to keep it a buck. I want some money to post this. Because I'm not going to compromise my platform, you know, and sensationalize this bullshit ass fight booking for Mr. Do Nothing for Nobody, all these promotions when it comes to the blogs. You know, they don't do shit for us. We do everything for them. And this is the type of content you're giving us to post. Just understand that. You know, us blogs, it's an even exchange, so to speak. I know I just got done saying what I just said, which is they don't do shit for us. But in this case, they don't. In this case, they don't. What are you doing for us by booking this fight? We don't get no clout off of this. Nobody wants to watch this. We can't promote this. We can't hype this up. All right? Anyone who does or tries to is just sensationalizing it. And they're being disingenuous. I wouldn't even try to sell you guys this bullshit and try to hype it up like I'm excited for this and this is a fight that should be happening. I'm going to tell you what I'm telling you right now. So, with all that being said, I want money to post this shit from now on, you know, because otherwise it's just making me look bad. And you guys already look bad for making this announcement anyway. So aside from that, I must say it's the elephant in the room, but Rico Verhoeven, he's coming into boxing, debuting, and the man's fighting for a WBC heavyweight title. Are you kidding me? Where is the merit in this sport these days? All theatric shows, all bullshit. This is like the biggest simulation I ever seen. I listed off the 4 crazy fights that are starting off the year. You know, Floyd versus Tyson, who knows if that's still on, but Ronda versus Gina, Floyd versus Pacquiao, Rico versus Usyk, and it's all being hyped up like it's something worth watching. The post should be, who the fuck would make a fight like this? That's what the post should be. It should be real questioning, not just like this echoing, this echo chamber. We want thoughts. We want ideas. We want opinions. We don't want this echo chamber of posting, bro. We don't want it. We don't want it. And so, you know, clipping, right, to tie it in again, back to what I was saying about the clipping, because I see AD says Clippers making bank. And it's like, look, the clipping is promotion, right, for Aiden Ross and these streamers. That's promotion, right? What do you think posting these fight announcements is? This is the equivalent of clipping with streamers, with these blogs. Yet we don't fucking charge a dime. We will just wake up in the morning. We're so thirsty to post something. We'll get this off right away. The lamest shit ever. The weakest shit ever. The most spineless shit ever. I see this, I scroll right past it. I'm not bringing it to you guys. The only reason why I'm bringing it to you guys is because I need to speak the truth about it. Imagine if this idiot Rico, I don't mean to call him an idiot and to insult him, but I'm just pissed off. But it's like, imagine if Rico Verhoeven came to MMA and fought for the heavyweight title. What the fuck are we doing? The hell are we doing? Not even Pereira got that privilege. So honestly, I think I won't even be going back into this topic, to keep it real with you. That's the end of it. I'm over it. You know, I hate these fights. It's not deserving, right? A guy making his boxing debut fighting for the WBC heavyweight title. Why? Because he got a name. He barely got a name, bro. This guy barely got a name. Barely got a name. It appears that this is probably going to be on some type of pay-per-view, not Netflix. So I love it. Can't wait for the generational flop. I wonder what idiots actually took the bait. They saw all these Netflix fights being announced. They bought into the hype and they said, oh, let's do the same thing, but let's put it on pay-per-view. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? Damn, Turkey must really not know boxing. I don't know whose doing this was, but whoever saw these bullshit fights getting announced decided to copy the gimmick because they thought it was working, and then they had the master plan to put it on a fucking paywall, pay-per-view. I mean, gotta be the stupidest person on earth right now walking. Because Netflix, yeah, they could pay out, you know, their ass when it comes to money because they're on subscription revenue, right? So it don't really matter. You know, they'll make it back in a couple months even if they take an L. You ain't making it back on this fight. Whatever you pay these fucking clowns to fight each other, all right, you're not going to make that back in the pay-per-view sales. I guarantee it. So good luck, have fun, and that's what you get for being an idiot, trying to game the fans, not listening to us. And how am I going to end this topic? How I've been ending it for the last week and a half now. You guys should not, I'm not going to demand it, but I'm just going to, you know, speak in hyperbole here, should not, will not, are not going to watch this. Now, again, it's you guys have free will, so don't get it twisted. I'm not fucking controlling you. But, you know, I'm speaking in hyperbole. You boys will not fucking watch this shit. Okay, that's how we stop it. These blogs ain't strong enough. I'm the only blog who won't post it, who will find other content to post, you know? But literally, these blogs aren't strong enough to ignore the fucking noise. You guys need to not tune in. Let this shit flop. How many more of these announcements do you want shoved down your throat? Tell me how many more of these announcements you want shoved down your throat. Okay, and then since we're on like these topics, again, it's not a crazy topic, but I figured I would just bring it to you guys. Um, it's actually very short, and it's like homie made a big post, kind of a big post, but he just posted a very small snippet. So here's the case file, like the opening little thing about it. But it's you know, two UFC fans, Alana Costantino and Kyle Nicholson, on behalf of themselves and all those similarly situated, versus Zuffa LLC, TKO Group Holdings Inc., TKO Operating Company LLC, and Endeavor Group Holdings Inc. So two UFC fans are suing the UFC. Why? Well, here's what it says. A new complaint sealing class action has been filed against the UFC, this time looking to represent fans, claiming, quote, defendants have forced plaintiffs and class members to pay inflated prices in order to view pay-per-view level offerings of mixed martial arts events. Defendants have forced plaintiffs and class members to pay inflated prices in order to view pay-per-view level offerings of mixed martial arts events. So essentially saying, you know, the $90 ain't worth it. You know? And that's the story here. That's just the story here. Really not much to say about it, but it's kind of funny, and it is interesting that the UFC is getting sued by 2 fucking fans for high pay-per-view costs. Wango Vlog saying, new subscriber, Wango. Shout out to you, homie. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Just a friendly reminder, you know, everybody in the stream, run up the likes. Run up the likes. We want 25 likes on the night. We want 25 likes every night. But yeah, let's run up the likes, 25. And if you're new to the stream and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Now, to get into some of the juiciness, some of the good stuff, I will have to admit that, you know, Raf's production for this press conference was very bad. It was very bad.
Having a professional wrestling league, and to me it was just.
But let's take a look.
I needed a push, you know, and they often say a kick in the butt is still a step forward, and Chad gave me a good kick in the butt and got me out of that box of wrestling and where wrestling is.
Okay, looks like Cejudo and Aljo are right after Arman and Giorgio. So, you know, I told you guys in the title caption, Arman low-key kind of cooked Giorgio today.
Thanks, guys.
The Night Owl asking me if I have any Nick Diaz updates. Nope, I don't got no Nick Diaz updates. No, oh my gosh. No Nick Diaz updates. But I mean, everybody needs to go spam Martin Sano and let him know I'm looking for a fight. I'm picking a fight with Martin Sano, and that's really all we're at with it right now. That's where we're at right now. We're at a standstill. We're picking a fight with Martin Sano Jr. We're not getting much responses because, you know, obviously I haven't really broadcasted it. Although I was planning on clipping it off. I was just like, you know, I got too much other shit going on. But, you know, that's what I would say. We don't got no updates on Nick other than I've called out Martin Sano Jr. to a fade. You know, I'm picking a fight with Martin Sano Jr. I want to run that. I need that fade. I need that fade. I need to put these paws on him. And that's the bottom line. That's where we're at. So everybody go comment on Martin Sano's Instagram and his socials and say, Perry Punch, Jacob, he's looking for a fight with you, homie. He's picking a fight with you. MMA Guru thinks Nick Diaz is too irrelevant for him to cover. Well, you know, Guru, I don't even know if he was much of a Nick Diaz fan. He doesn't seem like he was. Seems like he disappeared again. Nick Diaz reportedly slapped Sean Strickland. I don't buy that. I don't buy the slapping Sean Strickland thing. But let's play the RAF presser, shall we?
The mics. Well, this is going to be a fun matchup. You
Perfecto. That is exactly what Arman said.
know, we had to convince Georgio to take it. Just kidding, but no, it's.
But see, we had to convince Georgio to take it. There's a big Giorgio's getting blasted all week, even by me, I guess, even though I didn't really mean to. But it's the elephant in the room with Giorgio. You know, he got the big name. People want to co-sign him, but he has no real people that he's beat, right? They're all people off the streets. He's got more experience than all of them. He doesn't have a real win under his belt. That's a certified win that certifies him. So even as they kick this off, one of the promoters is like, we had to convince Giorgio to take this. Giorgio getting trolled left and right for not competing against real wrestlers in this $1,000 take me down challenge. And, you know, I'm not saying he's in the wrong for not doing it. I'm just simply pointing it out to you guys that he keeps getting called out for it. And, I mean, I don't really know what to make of it. I think he should probably keep doing what he's doing. I also get the vibe that he stopped doing the $1,000 take me down challenge. I was peeping his Instagram. I see his hair today. Looks like he hasn't done the $1,000 take me down challenge in a hot minute. They're all old videos. Anyway, let's play the press conference now.
No, we're this is gonna be a great match. We're excited about this matchup. I don't think anyone probably saw this one coming, so this is gonna be something that we're all, looking to see what happens and if Georgio actually gets taken down.
Yeah, Chad, I want to start with this because you were telling me earlier, Chad, that you were in the same room with Arman and Georgio, and things got. It wasn't like bad, but it was electric, I believe was the word you described. Can you expound on what it was like being in the room with those two guys yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, they're both unbelievable competitors. All jokes aside, Georgio will accept matchups against very talented wrestlers. People say he doesn't, and they hate on him, but he does a lot for the community. He's a badass. And then Arman, obviously, the only thing I'll let them talk about it, but there was a bet that was had between the two of them that has nothing to do with RAF specifically, but I'll let you ask him that question.
Okay, what was the bet? There's a briefcase coming. Oh, there's a briefcase coming. Okay.
So as of right now, me and Arman came to an agreement. We bet 10K on the match winner.
All right, I like that.
I think there may be a little bit more talk about betting throughout this press conference. I see a nice briefcase over there.
All right, can we?
What we got over here?
Somebody give Captain a mic.
Oh boy.
For those that don't know, because maybe you guys are trying to piece it together, Georgio's speaking about a briefcase, right? So they're saying there's a briefcase. Someone give Captain a mic. He got a briefcase. Who's he talking about when he says Captain? Captain Eric Albarracin. He added again. Okay, Captain Eric Albarracin added again. If you don't know who that is by the name, it's Henry Cejudo's coach. Homie with all the theatrics, with the sunglasses and shit, and the suits. So, of course, Georgio is in Arizona for the RAF06, where it's being held, and he's been training at Henry Cejudo's gym, where Captain Eric Albarracin is like a coach. So, Albarracin is doing a gimmick right now with the briefcase, trying to negotiate more with Arman, on behalf of Georgio. If that all makes sense to you, if you guys are wondering about the briefcase, it seems like this is a play from Georgio's camp and Captain Eric Albarracin to negotiate further with Arman, and then Arman shuts it down, like we already talked about, and he's like, homie, you're not even in my tax bracket, like, shut the fuck up. Low key, that's what he says.
Man, that finger on the mute button.
Internationally in Russia, you asked me what was my favorite move, and you hit it on my fighter. Respect. But now I got a question for you. What's your favorite takedown?
My favorite takedown? I don't know, double leg.
It doesn't matter what your takedown is because this is the takedown.
Last time you said same, and then I choke your guy out.
But this time,
your guy was sleeping on the mat.
This time you guys got bets on the line, money on the line. So
the best guy you have so far is Henry Cejudo. That's all.
Takedown vote match.
What do you
how
brought?
much?
What is there?
How much goes in here if you can't take him down? You said you would dominate him.
Say one more time.
How much money goes in the vault? How much goes in the vault if you can't take him down?
As much as you want.
And how much if George takes you down? You guys set the terms. Tomorrow night, this takedown vote gets unsealed.
So
you don't get to touch the vote.
Listen.
Shit, we got a Money in the Bank match. We got a Money in the Bank match. Somebody tie this to the ceiling. We got a straight WWE Money in the Bank match in the making.
Tomorrow night.
I'll hold
You should bring bigger. This is too small. This is too small.
Let's go. Tomorrow night, that vote gets unsealed.
Okay.
You guys set the terms. George, Arman, have at it. Real American freestyle.
So I was told Arman was gonna 10-0 me. Now, Arman, let's say that you don't get the takedown. Let's come to an agreement here. How much you gonna put on the line if you can't take me down?
Pucho asar men bazarum chenkele.
You can talk about anything at the press conference. I think this is pretty exciting, don't you guys?
Bro, yesterday we talked and we like agreed 10,000. So
Yes.
we're not gonna like do
10,000
the
match
same
winner.
conversation because conversation wasn't that good
Yeah, I
because
agree.
we have a different like amount of money in my package and your package. So let's stay in 10,000.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Next question.
One last question for
Damn, Georgio's like, fuck. Fuck, I tried. Shit, but it's like, you already got your answer, homie. Now you're coming in here like it's Groundhog's Day, acting like you guys didn't have that convo. Being like, how much money are you going to put in the vault? He already told you, bro. You got the answer. It's 10K. It's a 10K versus 10K match. You know, loser pays up 10K. But I get it. They're trying to do a new bet, like a side bet. Like, oh, you know, the takedown. New bet with whoever can take who down.
for Arman.
I'm sorry, but like it's the truth. Sorry.
I mean, you see this
I
guy on the
told you-
internet everywhere flying with all
told
this
you bring
money. That's
somebody
kind of
who
his
has
image,
money,
you know?
and then you have a tools to talk. You know.
Okay, let's next question.
And I just got to say, you know, yes, Georgio's saying, you know, Arman got lots of money, but it's like, bro, the problem is you don't got enough to match it, which is what Arman's fucking trying to tell you, trying to save you a bit of the embarrassment. You know, it's not like Arman got a bunch of money, so he's going to put up $1 million to your 10K. Like, what do you expect? You know?
Question.
One last question for Arman. Arman, your good buddy Ilia Topuria has been talking about you, saying that if he fought you, you would, I believe the word he used was you would panic in the octagon with him. Wanted to see if you had a response to Ilia Topuria and his recent comments about you.
Not yet. I'm focused on bodybuilder right now.
Arman
And
cooking.
After bodybuilder, I can respond to Ilia Topuria.
Arman cooking.
Arman right here. You're the #1 contender in the UFC right now in the lightweight division. Are you chasing more belts just in the RFA 2 or just chasing the UFC one?
I'm chasing RF as well. So, but yeah, as you know, like my goal is UFC. But when I don't have a fight, it's fun, you know, to wrestle, and I make money. You know, media, everything is good. So I like compete. You know, it's like my thing, and I'm young and I have a lot of energy. I can compete every month. So, but I think RF gotta create new belt, like a superstar belt, because we cannot compete with the freestyle wrestlers, to be honest. So it's completely different. As you know, like we are fighters, and I wish you can like do like some like UFC did like a BMF, like you can do something like that.
So Izzy and I already talked about this because Henry was saying the same thing, even though he's an Olympic gold medalist. But we were discussing that we're going to create a new belt. But Arman, you could compete pretty. So can Georgio. But definitely from the perspective of a new belt, Izzy and I have already talked about it.
Next question for Izzy. You're involved in all styles of wrestling from youth all the way up to right here to the levels.
You know, hard work. Always be the guy. You know, need a wrestling. Chad's signing room important. I think in the country, just they weren't really wrestlers like we were.
Oh my gosh, bro. Would you wrap up your damn answer? Holy moly. We like 10 5-second skip forwards into this.
Where I went to meet, you know, group of because they're doing this, growing the sport.
And he this morning.
Oh my gosh, that was a crazy response.
You know, I was watching. We were, in the hotel lobby, and he's talking to Haley, who's on our team, and they're at Girls States right now. And last week he had both.
Tell people when I told everyone to change my school, and that's how I've built. Was against them sport. Find me.
Would you say that this is your biggest step up in competition against Georgio? Would you say that this is your biggest step up in competition against Arman? And what are your thoughts, all joking aside, on his skill set and what he brings to the table for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I mean, I've been wrestling since I was 4 years old, so you know I've competed against better wrestlers than this guy my whole life. He is a very good wrestler. He's great at what he does. He's one of the best fighters in the world. Shout out to his PR team. You know, they're killing it on social media. That's part of the reason that I was interested in this match. You know, he's been winning everything there is to win. He's been dominating. So when I got brought this opportunity, you know, I felt like it was an opportunity from God to make a name for myself and elevate my brand, my career, and also it's the people's match. It's the #1 person. People on social media wanted to see me wrestle, and I thought it was a great opportunity.
This question's for Arman. Hello. This
questions for Arman. Recently, you and David Carr were talking about interest in wrestling each other. So if victorious tomorrow night, is that the next matchup that you want? And why does it interest you so much?
I don't know. I gotta check how I'm gonna look like on Saturday, and then we talk.
Over here, Arman.
Yeah, Georgio, this is obviously a passion of yours, a passion of everybody here is wrestling. How do you want to show that the passion of wrestling to a guy like Arman, who's a UFC fighter first, as he said, how do you want to show that wrestling is, you know, real and that he should be taking this very seriously?
I like to believe he's taking it serious. You know, if you watch my videos, you can tell that I do know what I'm doing. Anyone that knows wrestling, if you just watch my videos, you can see the technique speaks for itself. So, I mean, I don't know what else much to say about that.
You're a blogger. What are you talking about? You never wrestle with
coming
good wrestlers.
from you, have you seen your social media? Go eat some more food. Go eat some more food.
It's better to eat food than beat some.
Georgio just complimented Arman on his social media, then he starts dissing him about it.
I'm trash canes.
Okay, let's see how you do on the mat with me. Then we'll talk.
Let's go.
Georgio.
If I beat you, don't go out with this thing anymore, okay?
Okay. I'm
I'll
gonna
change your
10-0 you. 10-0 you.
I'll change your job.
10-0.
You're gonna be my bodyguard because you have good muscles.
That's the bet right there, though. That's the fucking bet. That's the type of bet I like to hear. I beat you, you throw that sign away. You throw down the $1,000 take me down sign. I beat you, you throw that sign away. You retire the gimmick for good. You know, that's the type of bets I like right there. And I already told you boys, you know, me versus Martin Sano Jr. If I win, Martin Sano leaves Nick and Kayla forever. If I lose, shit, I leave you two forever. That's some stakes right there.
We'll see how that works for you.
I'll pay good money, no worries.
Georgio, so I have a question for you. You know, you said
This is where Georgio gets pressed about the, you know, homie been taken down on film. He been debunked on the $1,000 take me down challenge and he hasn't posted it. The girl says she's confirmed with several sources. Georgio denies. Let's hear it. Tell me if you guys believe homie Georgio or not. You know, I did a poll on Instagram. I clipped this off. I did a poll. The homies don't believe Georgio, so you guys let me know in the chat. You believe Georgio or not? I would do a poll, but I don't got that option on here right now. So you guys are going to have to drop it in, like cap or not.
you have this wrestling background. All we really see is what we see on social media. I've heard from multiple sources that you have been taken down and haven't posted it. I don't know if that's a truth or not, but, you know, what are some skill sets that you're looking to bring to Arman that he may not be used to? Like, do you have this endurance that we don't know about, like single leg, double leg, like what's going on?
You know, I'm just going to go out there and wrestle. I always just, you know, wrestling's a feel thing for me at this point. I've been doing it since I was a little kid, so, you know, there's not much to think about there. We kind of just go out there and perform. And as far as me being taken down and not posting it, I post all my videos. People will always have something to say. You know, it's the internet. People talk, and all that is great. As long as I'm being talked about, it means I'm doing something right.
So you say nobody take you down on the street?
Is that what you heard?
Yes. Is it
Thought
true
so.
or not?
This is true.
Wow.
Wow.
Why you're not Olympic champ?
You asked me this question yesterday, and I'll answer it again. You know, my goal is to promote the sport of wrestling in a fun
just
way.
Excuses.
No, you know, everybody has different goals.
Okay, good job.
Why aren't you an Olympic champ? Why aren't you UFC champ?
Soon. Number one contender.
Yeah.
But
I think everybody's still waiting.
Where
Let's
you
see.
at in the wrestling? From the bottom of number one.
You know, here's the truth about Georgio. And I was going to mention this last night. I just kind of forgot to. It slipped my mind. But it's tough. I'll admit, Georgio's in a tough spot, you know, because he's very viral for the $1,000 Take Me Down challenge. He got the reputation of being undefeated in the streets. Whether or not he's been taken down, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But we all heard the same rumors at this point. I can't confirm or deny them. I'll ask him, though, if next time I have him on. But, you know, Georgio in this tough position because he's built up a reputation to be a super good wrestler, But, you know, it's only a simple Google search away how well he did in college. And I did ask him a little bit about it. So, you know, here's the story with Georgio. He competed as a true freshman. 90% of prospects in college, they redshirt their first year. Why? Because everybody redshirts. It's the same as weight cutting. You feel me? In the UFC. Why would you compete at 170, your natural weight class, when everybody, you know, around your height and weight is competing down at 155? You're going to have to go down to 155. And that's basically the same thing for college sports, college wrestling especially, because it's physical. Everybody who's a big prospect, they redshirt their first year. They take the time, they get stronger, they get bigger, so they can actually compete with the rest of the grapplers their sophomore year. It's the same reason why, you know, a lot of times parents will hold back their kids in middle school 1 extra year so that they're a year older, a year more mature. By the time they debut, they're a freshman in high school. Now they're going to dominate in their sport. Why? Because they're fucking competing with people a grade below them. That's the same exact thing with redshirt when you go into college. You know, you redshirt your freshman year, so the next year you're a little bit more on par with all the people you're actually competing with. You're not going to be competing against a grade younger than you, but you're more on par with the rest of the competition. Why am I explaining all this? Because Georgio is a guy who competed his true freshman year. That's not a good thing. So a lot of people are on him, and what's his record? I think it might be 12-17 or something like that. It's a negative record for sure. You know, a negative record for sure. So, but again, I'm shooting him bail, and I'm saying homie did the tough thing. He competed his true freshman year. Now, homie did redshirt his sophomore year, and then he dropped out of college his junior year. He got over wrestling. So, you know, based off what we've seen, you know, off Georgio's trajectory, he wasn't really ever, you know, looked at to be a future Olympic champion. That's what I'm trying to get to here. And obviously, if Georgio could tell all of his truth like this, it would make more sense, you know, and he would come off like he's not capping as much or he's not fronting as much. But who wants to admit in Georgio's position that, you know, he quit wrestling his junior year, he lost a love for it, you know, he competed his true freshman year, he had a negative record. Who wants to say all that stuff? Okay, I'll do it for him. And the last thing I'll say is he started on the team, number one. He started on all the duels, and you know, he competed in a tournament to go and compete in the NCAAs, the final tournament of the year, his true freshman year, and unfortunately he lost to Chance Marsteller, a very good wrestler, one of the best wrestlers, you know, of his time, of his generation. You can look him up. There's a documentary on Chance Marsteller. So that's the whole story with Georgio. Yes, he competed D1. I think the college he went to was D1 because he was going to compete in the NCAA tournament if he qualified. So he got to have gone D1. You know, he did start his true freshman year. No, he didn't qualify for the NCAAs. Yes, he did have a negative record his true freshman year, which is understandable. And yes, you know, he dropped out of, you know, college his junior year to become a fitness influencer. He lost passion for wrestling. So just giving you guys the history on Georgio because everyone's blowing it out of the water. You know, Arman saying, why aren't you an Olympic champ? You're undefeated in the streets. So here, you know, there you go, guys. That's the tea on Georgio. You know, that's the tea on Georgio. Yes, he may be undefeated in the streets, but being undefeated in the streets and being a highly accomplished or accredited D1 college wrestler, those are two different things, right? Because you got to imagine somebody who qualified to go to the NCAAs would probably give Georgio a run for his money. Georgio never made it to the NCAAs. Granted, it was his true freshman year. Let's continue.
All right, guys, next group.
Okay, well, it's over now. So we got Uriah and Henry Cejudo coming up next. And then we're going to look at Ilia Topuria cooking Jake Paul on the phone. Because I did watch the full clip today, and homie cooked the shit out of him.
With the main event like the one we have, I mean, you guys see the card. I mean, the card is going from start to finish from Clay Guida and Muggsy going to kick this.
Give me a second though, while this one's playing. Just give me a second. Let me go outside and get some water real quick. I'm gonna keep this playing though. But everyone run up the motherfucking likes on the stream. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Thing off, you know, to Everest, and just the crowd is going to be electric, guys, and we're super proud of it. And we're super proud of this main event. You know, I grew up with Henry and Henry's family, and a ton of respect to the Cejudos and what they're doing at Valiant Prep. And it's been a dream with Uriah taking care of my brother Clay Guida. But that co-main event's going to be awesome. But there's nothing like watching these two legends. You know, obviously Henry from Phoenix here, from this area, you know, just to headline this card is something serious and something special. So we'll take the first question.
We hear what this matchup means to Izzy and what it means for the promotion, but as someone who's accomplished so much in the UFC and to transition, it just seemed like a seamless one for you to come over to RAF, being able to headline against a guy like Uriah Faber and to do it at home. What is this like for you, 24 hours away from it?
Yeah, I think a lot of you guys probably saw me get beat up my last fight, so I wasn't trying to compete anymore. And this was actually Christmas Eve, and these dudes are calling me because I love wrestling. So as soon as I got the call from Izzy, I'm like, all right, man, something, you know, it's wrestling, something related to how is it that we can promote the sport. And then him and Chad just started tag teaming me. Boom, boom, boom. You got to do this for wrestling. And then I thought about it. Yeah, pause. Maybe not. And you know, they gave me their mission and what they're trying to do with the sport. I'm just like, man, I wasn't trying to compete too much because I respect the game, you know. And but man, Christmas Eve, I was able to say, you know what, guys, you know, give me a couple minutes. Like, dude, I'm shopping for my kids, man. Like, let me. I don't even. Hey, choose good toys, man, because I was already thinking. But then what they're doing for the sport, I'm just like, bro, I'm all in. You know, obviously I bring the theatrics, I bring the entertainment. Obviously I compete. You know, I'm fortunate enough to, you know, accomplish 2 sports and 3 different weight classes. So if you guys didn't know, but for Uriah too, man, you know, I've always thought I was gonna fight Uriah. So I didn't like had him on an Instagram friend for the longest. I was like, no, me and dudes we're gonna end up fighting. I ain't trying to have any mercy on him. But now this weekend, that shit's about to twerk for me.
And then Uriah, you know, you have so much going on. You have a million things, but you're always a competitor at heart. So when this opportunity came along against someone like Henry, I'm sure you jumped all over this. You were super excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because, you know, I had a kind of a kumbaya conversation with Henry. We've talked throughout his career just on some advice that I've given him without him asking me a bunch, to be honest. But he's kind of listened, whether it was because of me or not. But, you know, just I was so pumped to see him get celebrated the way he did on the way out, because the first time didn't do him justice. And so we had this whole kumbaya conversation right before I get the call from Izzy while I'm sitting in the hot tub, fat and happy, and you know, I was getting ready to compete anyways. I've been competing, doing these combat jiu-jitsu matches. By the way, Henry, you want to get smacked up and submitted, we'll do a rematch after this also. But I was like, all right. Then I text Henry. I said, bro, are we wrestling? I said, bring your fucking medal, bro. Bring it. And the question is he going to show up? I don't think he's going to show up. There's a lot of, I mean, I text the guy. I don't pay much attention to little details, read my emails, this and that. And so I didn't know the same day weigh-in. And I'm here, you know, I'm a heavy guy. I just competed 160 pounds, had to cut down for that. I found out it's the day before, the same day weigh-in. And I said, hey, Lance, same day weigh-in? I didn't know that. It was 3 days ago. I said, you know, I want to have dinner with my kids. The whole reason I'm here is to hang out with my kids and put on a show and win the gold medal, you know? And he said,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, motherfucker. I could just like go off right now because it was muted. Nah, you didn't miss anything crazy. I was just saying it was genuinely funny what Uriah Faber just said. You know, I'm here to win the gold medal. You know, I think that's funny as fuck. I think that's funny as fuck. I was saying that he literally got me, Cejudo, and everybody up on that desk cracking up over that joke. So I'm just saying, Uriah, he funny as hell. He a good promoter. He always been good on the mic. But if you're a longtime fan of the UFC, you've seen this song and dance before. Uriah Faber, he very good talker. And he always talks as if he's going to win, as if he had got the most confidence going into it. Now, when he goes in there and competes, sometimes it's a different story. So that's all I'll say. You know, he's always known how to build up fights. But, you know, he'll build up a fight he knows he's going to lose too, low-key. And you could take those Dominic Cruz fights as the example. But this is good promotion by Uriah. Great promotion by Uriah. I'm just here to win the gold medal. One more time. Let's play that part one more time. My bad for the mutant shit. My bad. I do have an announcement for you guys at the end of the stream, and I think you're going to love it. So stay tuned. We got an announcement at the end of the stream. And you don't got to wait too long. I'm gonna give you the announcement after this little press conference wraps up.
He says, "Oh, well, talk to Henry." So I hit up Henry, leaves me on and put on a show and win the gold medal. I want to have dinner with my kids. The whole reason I'm here is to hang out with my kids and put on a show and win the gold medal. You know, and he says, "Oh, well, talk to Henry." So I hit up Henry, leaves me on red. How cringe is that? I say, "Hey, Henry. Didn't know it was the same day weigh-in. Hey, why don't we do 160? I see him. I know what's going on. He's scared. He's nervous. He knows I'm a big, strong guy. Probably, you know, without cutting weight, I just spin him like this on my finger. And so I'm waiting. 45 minutes after he reads the text. 45 minutes. Hey, I talked to Chad. He wasn't very happy about this. He wants us to be really competitive. I'm like, okay.
Can I use Chael Sutton's line real quick? Can I use Chael Sutton's line real quick? You guys cut him off. Cut him off.
I see these guys together. I'm with my daughter who negotiated a great contract to babysit his kids, $20.
Are you gonna babysit my kids, Callie?
Right. Callie's ready to do that. And I see Chad there. I said, Chad, was it you that said we couldn't get the extra pound the day before weigh-in? He said, that wasn't me. Henry's like, okay.
So
this man is he going to show up? Hey,
answer that question.
Then he gives me a bottle of this water, 16 ounces of water. I drink it, I gain 1 pound. This guy's trying to get out of this match. He's trying to get out of the match. So I hope he shows up. My daughter did a side-by-side. She asked, how old are you? He's like, how old do you think I am? Who do you think's older? She's like, looked at me and him. She said, you're older. So here we are, man. All advantages are on my side. And the Olympic gold, we're bringing it back to Sacramento, put it in Callie's room.
Wow. Henry getting cooked here. He getting cooked by Uriah. And honestly, like I always say, boys, there's a little bit of truth in every joke. Yes, Uriah, he joking, he playing, but shit, he's spitting facts. He's speaking his truth. You know, homie gave him a water bottle. Homie left him on red. Homie put the blame on somebody else why they couldn't do some type of catch weight action. You know, Uriah getting a little pissed with Henry now, but you're going to play it off cool. But there's always a little bit of truth in every joke.
Oh, and a check for $20. I can't wait if he shows up.
If he shows up.
I'll probably have my next opponent, by the way. You know, I need that pre-warm-up. But that being said, I think overall, man, like this card is amazing. Like even you know, seeing Georgio and Arman kind of, you know, go through the whole little thing. Like this is big, man. What you guys are doing for the sport. You know, this is big too, Uriah. Like I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you know, we've known each other since 2009 was the first time that we met.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome, dude. I think it's awesome what you know, Izzy and Chad are doing, and you know, you guys, you know, join the train, man. I've been saying a bunch of crazy stuff, but you guys join the ride. From tag teams.
I got a match. Just throwing one out there. Jacoby Smith versus Colby Covington. I know Colby Covington called out the CEO of EPO, but shit, run it with Jacoby Smith.
trained. You guys join the ride because this is the beginning of the sport of wrestling becoming something that we do on a weekly basis. You know, from the you watch NFL Sunday, things like that. I can see wrestling being an every weekend thing.
I want to say something real quick because I don't know. Izzy is an amazing coach. He also likes to have a good time. We were hanging out, I think, in Mexico City or Brazil or something on a UFC card, coaching and everything. And I don't know if he remembers this conversation. I'm sure he's had it a lot of times, and I've had the same conversation. It's about the law of exposure. The more you see, the more you are introduced to, the bigger you think, the more you think you can, the more you want, etc. And he was telling that to me about, I just, I want the jet, and I want big, so I want to do big stuff, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I'm going to go big, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really mean anything other than he's thinking bigger than he ever has, and it reminds me a lot of Dana White. Meeting Chad, it reminds me a lot of Lorenzo Fertitta, a very poised and polished businessman, a guy that's out of this world, charismatic and loves the sport more than anything, and this is what our sport needs. And this is why we're here.
I think you're right. Izzy White, Chad Fertitta. You agree?
That's it. I think that mean it.
What's poppin', M-Gal? Hey, M-Gal, you gonna be at UFC 327? They just announced the main event for your hometown, baby. Let's go. You got Prohaska versus Olberg for the undisputed light heavyweight championship.
We are creating our own lane.
For the vacant light heavyweight title. That's the correct wording.
We want to just be, known for being Izzy and Chad. So,
hey,
I'm not trying to. They've done an amazing job, but just so
Olberg finna get his ass knocked out. M-Gal, you got it. You already know, homie. Olberg getting his ass knocked the fuck out. He could go out on his face or his back. He got two choices. And speaking of that shit, Sean Brady too. He got two choices, homie. Come March 25th, Sean Brady got two choices. He can go out on his face or his back.
Clear, like when Izzy and I,
you're paying us, Chad. You're paying us.
No. When Izzy and I started this, everyone was fucking hating on us for doing this. So I think for us, it's fouled every time it started. Where there's people betting on over and unders and for to succeed, but. When Izzy and I and Eric Bischoff too, who's on here because he hasn't been getting mentioned, but him and his production team and our team, like when you walk into that arena, it's real. And what we've built, I just want to be known and Izzy, what we're doing for our legacies is for, like Izzy mentioned, my son going into his room and inspiring me to do this, and then his coaching and Hulk Hogan and his love for this. But we just want to be we wanted to be defined as RAF and creating our own lane. That's what we're here for.
Uriah, speaking of piggybacking off of what Chad just said, when did you first have RAF at your attention in the forefront? Were you following for the first one? What were your honest thoughts when you very first heard about the promotion?
Right off the bat, I was super excited about it. I'm an older guy, so I've seen this come and go. Not done well for years and years and years, and everybody was hopeful for it every single time. So for me, it needs the right recipe. Like when I talk about the UFC roadmap, it is a guy, Dana was a guy that was a kickboxing instructor. Then he became a manager for Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. And he was, he came to his friend who also was already on the boxing commission, Lorenzo Fertitta, and said, bro, this sport could be huge. There's so much stuff we could do with this thing. And they had the equal passion, business acumen, the grit, the fighting will, which you need in business in general, and the money. And I think right now, more than ever, wrestling's on a pedestal. I mean, if you want to talk to any commentator or analyst or reporter about the keys to mixed martial arts to be the baddest dude on the planet, wrestling is the first conversation. And so we're held on a pedestal right now. But you take a top world champion right now in mixed martial arts, depending who he is, and you put him against the Olympic gold medalist. There's a very, very good chance you put those two in a room. The Olympic gold medalist is going to walk out of there alive you know, with a severe beating on the champ, because he's the bad dude and he'll go right where he needs to. So people need to understand that.
Was going to happen on Saturday night, Uriah, so thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about that is Henry won that, I think maybe 19, 18 years ago, something like that. He has not aged well, as my daughter pointed out. He was also 121.
Dude, you see all this hair,
he was also
bro?
121 pounds.
This is real, Uriah.
I don't know many grown men 121 pounds. The other thing is my mentality changed. I was never a guy that wanted to be an Olympic champion. I hate to say it, unfortunately, and I encourage everybody to think big from the get-go. But I put my toe in, then put my foot in, then jumped in full speed. You know, I wrote my goals the wrong way at the end of the day. It was to be an All-American, to be an All-American, to be All-American. I missed it by one overtime point to David Douglas in NCAA's. But I never wrote down be a national champion. I never wrote down be an Olympic champion. Why? Just a crazy thought to not even let myself think.
That is kind of low-key crazy. Let that be a fucking lesson. And maybe it's before the saying became very popular, but Uriah, that's a prime example. That's a prime example, Uriah. Like, bro, you're setting your standards way too low for yourself. What you got to do is you shoot for how does it say? Shoot for the moon and then like land among the stars or something along those lines. Like Uriah being too realistic with his goals. Nah, homie. Oversell your goals. You feel me? Overshoot your goals. You might not land there, but shit, going for the lofty goal finna end you up at least as an All-American. Come on now. But look, homie, he set his goal as being an All-American. He fell short of it by 2 fucking points. Let that be the lesson. He fell amongst the stars, which is outside the rankings of All-American. Damn, Uriah. That's a good lesson to learn, though. You always want to overshoot your goals. Shit. Let them be lofty.
Thinking to put it on paper. And that changed for mixed martial arts. And I've been wrestling with that mentality for another 20 some odd years since I had my best wrestling match. So I'm not the same guy, and you're definitely not the same guy.
I want to ask you something about that, you guys, right here. Thank you guys so much, by the way, Chad and Izzy, for putting this together, because I can hear an obvious camaraderie and passion in here for what you're doing to inspire and give the athletes what they really want. I hear you, Uriah, saying some cool stuff over here, trying to get our friend Henry kind of psyched up for the match. I want to hear what you guys have in store for each other, because Uriah, I've loved watching your high energy over the years and everything you've done with your wrestling. Henry, I've loved your strategery and your getting in there being all like this. So I would love to hear you guys talk a little bit more about what you got in store for each other.
I'll tell you, Henry's been thinking a lot about it. I have not. I tell you, he's been nervous.
And honestly, I'll be honest with you. I even forgot that I'm wrestling this weekend, to be quite frank. But that's the honest truth. We were having dinner last night, had a couple of drinks. But right out, Joe.
But I will say this.
But hold on, you're right.
Yeah.
But that being said, I think it's great. It's obviously we are the main event, but the reality is, dude, the real main events are those wrestlers, Jordan Oliver versus Bartlett. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
I'm just happy that we're able to kind of carry that. I think being you're right. We do this.
That is true. Actually, for these cards, I would say if anybody's going to be tuning in tomorrow, just be aware that, because I think what's happening is a lot of maybe some of the MMA fans coming over to this RAF scene because of the UFC fighters. You guys may not be the most well-versed on this stuff. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people are giving Arman too much credit for beating Lance Palmer, because Lance Palmer was an NCAA champion or a runner-up, something along those lines. Bro, Lance Palmer is pushing 40. That's along the lines of Jake Paul taking credit for beating UFC GOAT Anderson Silva. Yeah, at a certain point in time, you would have got that. But shit, Silva is shine off getting shine off beating Silva has expired 10 years ago. You don't get any more shine off beating Silva like you did a decade ago. And I actually did lose my train of thought there. I'll find it again. But what I'm trying to say is that That's why I think you guys may not know what you're watching fully with this, because you guys are co-signing Arman's win over Lance Palmer, who's pushing 40, just because he was a NCAA champion or finalist. But it doesn't matter. Homie's 40. So with that being said, in case anybody doesn't know about RAF, right? What Henry Cejudo just said is very true. You know, Henry versus Uriah, if this is what you're tuning in for, you are actually missing out. Or even Arman versus Georgio, if that's all you're tuning in for, and then the main event between these two, you're definitely missing out. You know, we got Stephen Buchanan, a recent NCAA champion, a U.S. team constituent, okay? We got David Carr. You got Bo Bartlett. So you have, you know, real accredited wrestlers who are fresh out the college NCAA scene, you know, who are new on the U.S. team, the U.S. wrestling scene, so to speak. And these are the guys who are really talented, who have all the skills right now. Cejudo, he used to have all the skills. He liked the Anderson Silva effect, right? He, you know, we're selling tickets off of his name, but he's not in his prime of where he used to be, and that's okay. But I'm just saying all this to say that if you guys are planning on tuning into this event, tune in early. You know, tune in early. You're going to see good competition. You're going to see good quality wrestlers early. Then we're going to wrap it up with a couple fun, you know, matches with Georgio and Arman, which is super highly anticipated. But Henry versus Uriah, this is going to be some bullshit. This ain't even really worth watching. You know, it's the main event because they're the most well-known. But just don't get it twisted. You know, if you plan on tuning in for this one and the co-main, definitely don't shoot yourself in the foot. Tune in earlier in the card too. Like I said, Stephen Buchanan, you know, David Carr, Bartlett. We got good guys on this card.
This is all funny
fun.
games.
Carr's an NCAA champ too.
The legend killer over here, Buchanan, what he's been able to do, taking you Romero, Yas Dani, and obviously even all of Jordan. I mean, not even freaking aging, man. You're just versing time, man. It's ridiculous. You still can make 145 pounds, bro. I gotta get that. You know, from the streamer to to Muggsy. You know, take me down, win $1,000. Like, this is all great for the sport. So, Chad, Izzy, we appreciate it, man, and we're here to rock and roll. And tomorrow night, Uriah,
yeah,
and you will
one thing,
bend the knee.
Guys, one thing on the Wrestling Mafia, you guys, if you've stepped a foot on a mat, you're part of the Wrestling Mafia. We do business together. We get our kids together. It's a club that you're in. So thank you to all the Wrestling Mafia, everybody that's a grappler in this road. We love you guys, and this RAF is for you guys. And thank you too.
Okay, we don't need to hear them fucking thanking everybody. Shout out Soda Pop. He popped it in the chat with Alvidre's fight news. So it looks like I need to do my part now, Soda Pop. I need to reach out for the interview. Say less, homie. Say less. Who Alvidre's fighting? Is it on Tapology yet? Who he fighting, homie? 7-1. Shit, do we kind of look alike? Hey, is it just me or me and homie look alike a little bit? What you think? Me and homie look alike? Did you see Alvidrez with Buck? Yes, I did. I did. I told you he'd be a star. Buck knows. Yeah, I was going to ask Buck about how he connected with Alvidrez, like how he knew him. Francisco Prado. Coming out party for Alvidrez. We got a coming out party for Alvidrez. 23-year-old, 5'10", 3-loss streak. Oh boy, this is a gimme for Alvidrez. 3-loss streak, they said shit. Feed him Alvidrez. Homie, 29. Oh shit, we the same age. I'm a little bit older than him. I'm like 5 months older than him. 6 foot, 74-inch reach. Trains at the Goat Shed. Damn, homie's from Goat Shed? No wonder he's kind of famous. He's from Goat Shed. Looks like Jacob's cousin. Yeah, me and homie kind of look alike. He looked like my younger cousin. He looked like my younger cousin. Yeah, he's 6 months younger than me. Alvidrez my younger cousin. That's how we gonna sell it. I'm gonna get Alvidrez on. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm joined by my cuz. What up, cuz? Shout out to Alvidrez. Fight news. Look out for it. Homie finna be a star. He making his debut. And we behind Alvidrez. We are Alvidrez. You know, he beat Eliezer Cubanza on Contender Series. And Eliezer Cubanza, he a tough dude as well. He was undefeated going into it. With the amateur background, you know, 7-3 in the amateurs, 7-0 as a pro, dropped it to Alvidrez in the first round. Impressive. Homie knocked out everybody in the first round. Alvidrez comes in there, puts him out in the first. So we'll see how that one plays out. But shout out Alvidrez. Now that brings me to a couple things to wrap up the pod. All right, to wrap up the stream. UFC 327 was made for me. Van, Loco, Alvidrez, Rebovix, Pico. Yeah, it is solid. It is solid. Hold on, my mom just walked in. Mom, what are you doing? Are you going to be here or no? Okay. Yeah, can you just close my door? Why don't, what happened over there? Okay. It's still that goes on over there? Yeah, like it still stinks. Oh man. That's a lifestyle. That's fine. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. LMAO, hold us a moment. Yeah, she was gonna go sleep at her friend's house because she lives in the neighborhood, but I guess she just I don't want to. It smelled like dog over there. That's what I'll say. So she cruised back over here, which is fine. Yes. You know, Soda Pop, UFC 327, low key made for you. Have to agree. And then Franklin says, dude, I have it in small screen and instantly thought that didn't exactly know what you were working on, LMAO. Not up close, though, as much, LOL. Franklin, what does that mean, homie?
Welcome,
I have it in small screen and instantly thought that didn't exactly know what you were working on. Fuck. Franklin, I don't understand, homie. Thanks for the Buckley Yuri lock. Of course, Franklin. We locked in on Buckley Yuri. Yeah, we locked in. Both their opponents are going out cold. Out cold. Come March 25th and come UFC 327. Those boys going out cold. I'm talking about Sean Brady. I'm talking about Carlos Olberg. Randy Brown is on 327. Is that the case? Randy Brown on 327? Yep. Yeah, 327, a good card. KG versus Luque. Alvidrez versus Prado. Gamrot versus Rebovix. Pitbull versus Pico. I mean, now we finally cooking, boys. We finally cooking. Even Cub versus Landwehr, I'm here for it. Kevin versus Randy. Murkanov versus Costa. Tati versus Loopy. Benny versus Manny. Curtis Blades versus Josh Hockett. I saw somebody ask me my thoughts about Josh Hockett. This is the test, right? He's beat guys. He's done what he needed to do against the lower guys. He's asking for a quick push. He got it. He got himself Curtis Blades. You get past Curtis Blades. You're certified. Okay, Franklin's saying something. Okay, so Alvidrez, my cousin, he says, oh, you're saying, I got you. When you were comparing us in the small screen, you saw it, but when you looked more up close, it wasn't as clear that we look alike. I got you. I feel like Blades is a big jump. Yeah, I mean, Jude, Blades is a big jump. And what I was going to just wrap up my take on that with was by saying, you know, historically, and honestly, I got no history to back this up, so I might even look like an asshole. I'm just relying strictly off memory on this one. But, you know, historically, when fighters get a big jump up in competition like this, it's usually a fall off of a cliff. And, I mean, we can go back to a few weeks ago in Vinicius versus Mario Bautista, right? It's a perfect example. A guy who runs through the competition, they're adamant, they want to step up, they get the step up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, how do we not see this coming? So that's my take on that one. Historically, I don't think this will be good for Josh Hockett because I don't think it's been good for a lot of other guys who get these big jumps up after 2 fights in the UFC. Literally, he got 2 wins in the UFC. Now he's fighting Curtis Blaydes. I just don't know how well that's going to pan out for him. Anyway, that's my take on it. We got Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Honestly, I'm not too mad at it. We got Van versus Tyra. Solid fight. Shout out Myanmar. We got Prohaska versus Olberg. We cooking. We cooking. Franklin was saying, YouTube wasn't small screen, but he doesn't look like you up close, was saying. I got you. He doesn't look like you as much up close is what I was saying. I got you. I got you. We got the same type of silhouette. That's what I think me and Alvidrez got. We don't really fully look alike, but we got the same type of like silhouette going on. He's a character, though. If he wins, we have star in the making. Oh, we got a star in the making, and he's certified, Jew. So it's like we can actually get behind him if he can beat a guy like Curtis Blaydes and get behind him, no Diddy. You feel me? We gotta always put out the no Diddy. Build-up will be interesting. I'll say this right now. If Hockett even thinks about making fun of Curtis Blaydes and his stuttering, I'm going to have to beat that ass. All right. Me in the streets, we coming for Hockett. You say one bad word about Curtis Blaydes and his stuttering, and we beating the shit out of you. You say one negative thing about Curtis Blaydes and his stuttering, we beating the dog shit out of you. Point blank, period. All right. You've been warned, Josh Hockett. There's a line in this one. You do not cross it, or we finna get your ass up out of here. You do not cross that damn line with Curtis Blaydes and the streets and me. We protect Curtis Blaydes at all costs. Not fully, but you know what I mean. Okay, so here's the announcements I have, and then we're going to wrap it up on this one. But I just wanted to say, I think what we're going to be starting, in fact, once I make the commitment, it's no longer I think. And this is a lofty commitment, so you boys are going to have to be tapped in with this one. You guys are going to have to be tapped in with this one. I am hereby officially announcing 90 days straight of live streaming. We want a new record. We want a new goal. The previous streak was around 70 days or something like that. We could have hit 90, but, you know, it was the end of the year. I ended up going on a little vacay at the end of the year. So we ended the streak. Who knows how long the streak would have went if I didn't have to go on that little vacation at the end of the year. With all that being said, we got a new streak. And with the new streak, we have to outdo the previous one. How do we outdo the previous one? 90 days straight. Live streaming 90 days straight. And I think we will count the previous 2 days. I think the streak started on Wednesday. So from Wednesday, 90 days. So today is technically day 3. But you know me. If I'm feeling it, I like to be extra specific. So, like, let's say we reach the 90 days. I might just push it another 2 days. Just because if I'm feeling it, I'm going to be like, yeah, let's push it 2 more days. Make it the official 90 days since the announcement. Because today, the 27th, is the announcement. But today is also 3 days in a row of streaming. You feel me? I took Tuesday off. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the 3rd day. But it's officially the announcement today. So we'll see. It might be 90. It might be 92. But best believe we at least do a 90. And I see the chat, fire emojis. Oh, shit. So let's go. America first. How fucking dare you? Blades, beats. America first. Too disrespectful, homie. Too soon. Too soon. I'm playing. Okay, so that's the announcement, though. I just wanted to officially announce that for you boys. 90 days straight of streaming. If you hit 90, might as well go for 3 digits. Brandon, hit 100. Honestly, 100 doesn't sound that bad, America first. It sounds amazing, as a matter of fact. I don't want to set too lofty of a goal, but best believe, we might just hit 100. We might just hit 100. I think I'll stick with 90 for now, though, because the last thing I want to do is overcommit myself. So I think, you know, we can hit the 90 for damn sure. We're going to hit that damn 90. And, you know, hopefully this is a little bit of motivation. You know, this is a 90-day lock-in. This is a 90-day lock-in. Going to be a lot of free game. Going to be a lot of evolution through the 90-day streak. Lots of evolution. So that's what I'm after. You know, we got to push ourselves 90 days straight. We'll see. I'll see you at the end of it. I'll see you at the end of this journey. I'll see you on the other side, boys. 90 days straight. Basically starts now, retroactive from Wednesday. All right. So yeah, one last time, 90-day lock-in starts now. Now that that's over with, let's take a look at Ilia Topuria, going back and forth with Jake Paul. You know, I'll save you guys the trouble of listening to the first bit of it, but it's like Ilia saying Jake sucks at boxing and all this stuff. And so Jake Paul, being the clout chaser that he is, he has to FaceTime into the stream and insert himself in the conversation because God forbid Ilia has anything negative to say about him. But just understand the reason why Jake called in the stream is because like 10 minutes prior, 30 minutes prior, you know, Ilia was kind of saying, you know, Jake Paul low-key, he kind of sucks. Like, he's good, I respect him, but he kind of sucks. And so here comes the FaceTime call right here. I'll read Soda Pop's chat saying, El Loco on a pay-per-view main card, Jacob. El Loco, man. I told you he was only 3 fights away from a title. Top 10 opponent in Miami. Yeah, Benny. And it's a tailor-made matchup, you know, old-ass Benny. Old-ass Benny. Versus Loco Torres. Hitting the John Cena, you can't see me. I mean, homie is a star in the making. We all know. We all know. We all know. You know, the fans, they choose who they get behind. No Diddy, and Loco Torres is definitely one of the people the fans have chosen to get behind. Okay. Ilia on FaceTime with Jake Paul. He straight cooks, homie. That is the easiest fight ever for him. UFC loves him. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. They also arguably love Alvidrez because I know you said that he's the best 1-3 fighter, Soda Pop, but come on, Alvidrez is going to walk right through him. I know nothing about Alvidrez's opponent, by the way, and I barely know much about Alvidrez's fight style. I got to get familiar. With all that being said, here we go. Ilia cooking Jake on FaceTime. He needed this to happen to him. Jake Paul needed to be humbled. He needed to be cooked. Here it is.
The greatest, Muhammad Ali.
Hey, Jake.
What up?
He left. It's just me.
Where'd he go?
Just kidding. He's right here.
¿Qué pasa, Jake?
What up? Hey, I respect you.
I just got to say, massive aura loss from Jake from the jump. Like, where'd he go? Desperate motherfucker for UFC clout and attention, but you dog us at every step of the way. And he starts it off by saying, hey, I respect you, but, you know, you just trashed me, so let's spar. Let's listen.
Bro, I think you're awesome. I just think that if you think I'm a bad boxer, then we should spar.
Yeah, whenever you want, bro. I'm open to it.
See, the thing is, though, is that, like, all the UFC fighters always say this stuff.
Your job is okay already?
Yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
But every UFC fighter, like, says this, and then I offer them to go get them in a private jet. Like, Patty Pimblett wanted to spar, and then I offered to send him my jet and $1 million, and he wouldn't do it. So we should actually do it.
I respect about you is your attitude, that you have a great attitude, and you always show up, and you love the challenges. And actually, if I put you in a group of streamers, YouTubers, and all that, I think you are the best boxer in there. But if we are talking about the greatest and we are talking about really boxers, I never would put you in that list. But I respect the fact that you started from.
I mean, you're not. But you're not in charge of the list. That's why I'm. That's why
I'm not in the
top
charge of the
15
list, but I
after
have my
years.
personal opinion, and I'm saying that as a boxer you suck, because I don't think that you have good boxing. You're just at an average level of boxer, which is respect. Like for me, I respect it because you start
let's spar. Let's spar.
Whenever you get,
and when
listen,
I beat your in sparring,
the thing is
what
that
you say
whenever you get your job like healed, let's do it. But just get ready because you are gonna need another period of time to recover your job.
I don't need.
Keep asking about that fucking jaw, you little bitch, Jake. Keep asking about that jaw, Ilia. This is why I told you guys. I told you guys the night of the fight. This is why you, as a fighter, you don't flex that you broke your jaw. Okay, Jake's such a clown, bro. He can't. He's not even a fighter if he tries his best. He's out here flexing that he broke his jaw. Not even a fighter when he tries his best. What do I mean by that? I mean he be posing as a fighter his damn hardest, and he still can't do it because he be flexing his jaw. Got broke. Here's the reason why you don't speak about it. Here's the reason why you don't admit to it. Because now you're getting asked it every step of the way from Ilia. Your jaw is okay? Okay, when your jaw heals, let's run it. You know, now Jake kind of getting like, it'll be fine. You know, it doesn't matter about my jaw. You're not going to hit me. That's what he's about to say.
The jaw to be healed because you're not gonna touch me, bro. You MMA fighters are all trash.
If you want me to not touch your jaw, yeah, listen. Let's do it. Let's do it with this rule. Let's do it with this rule. I'm not gonna touch your jaw because it's affected. But I'm gonna give you liver in your hands like.
You're a little guy. You're 5'6". You can't even ride roller coasters, brother.
Probably I'm a little guy. Maybe
you can't ride roller
the best thing
in
I have. Okay, so maybe the best thing that I have is not my height. Maybe I'm not the highest guy in the room, but I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna put you. Listen.
I would feel bad.
Bro, I'm gonna give you a combo that I'm gonna put you in the height of my balls. You know what? I'm gonna and you are gonna be on your knees.
Hey.
Speechless. Hey.
You think once it happens and we spar, like the talking will be over. So it's great.
Bro.
And again, I respect you. And I
what
think
the f you talking about? What the f you talking about? Like, listen, we can spar whenever you want, and we are talking about boxing. Because if you really go into a men's fight and we do a full fight, hey.
Oh, we can do that too.
Bro, don't talk about that. I respect you, attitude. I'm telling you, I respect that you have to do your job and you have to sell that, I don't know, that perception that you are the greatest and all that, and you have the possibilities. But between me and you, when you are look at me on my face, you know it, bro. You know it. You are just like bam for me.
Yeah, no, that's what's great about this sport and what we're doing right now is that at the end of the day, the answers will show. I just hope that you don't use the same excuse that Paddy Pimblett and all them used, where they're like,
"What was the excuse? What was the excuse that he gave you?"
Because the UFC saw that we were gonna spar, and then he basically said that he can't do it and blah blah. But that's because you guys fight in the gym all the time and have to train, so it doesn't matter whether it's on camera.
Cry me a river, Jake.
But we can do it without streaming, without recording, without anything. Between me, you crowd, you people, my people, and we are gonna know it. I don't want to announce it. If you want to do it like announcing to the world that we are gonna do something, we can fight. We can fight. We
should do it on 8-inch stream. Let's run it.
You in Miami?
I'm in Georgia right now.
Georgia country or state?
State.
You guys would be good friends, dude. Quick little spar.
Probably, but I love this competition. I love this competition. I love this competition between me and you about sparring. But personally, I don't have any kind of issue with you. I wish you nothing but the best. And I respect that everything you are doing. Seriously.
No, and vice versa. That's why I said I think you're awesome. I just think it comes to a point where like everyone in your sport thinks they have hands, and I just mop the floor with all of them.
But don't talk about everyone. I don't put myself in that list.
There's no difference, brother. There's a lot of.
You think
you're a better striker than Anderson Silva?
better striker.
Oh God, here we go. I mean, how delusional is Jake? And I'm gonna let Ilia handle this. You know, Ilia's gonna handle this for us right now. But it's like, finally, somebody calls out Jake for flexing the Anderson Silva win. He goes, "Really, you're a better striker than Anderson Silva?" Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. You know why? Because you fought 40-something-year-old Anderson Silva pushing 50. Okay, Anderson Silva and all of his accolades have been expired, meaning you can't take that off of beating him when he's pushing 50. It's like, I swear to God, Jake Paul thinks he beat the youngest heavyweight world champion, Mike Tyson, in his 60s. Like, the level of delusion is absolutely insane. But anyway, Ilia handles it perfectly. I don't even really need to pause and step in here, but I just had to get it off my chest my damn self.
I don't know if better striker, but better boxer, probably. And
Yeah,
listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You gave me a name that I respect a lot. He was a legend in our sport, and he did amazing things. And the moment when you fought him, he was 45 or 46 years old. So it's not the same. The spirit of someone of 29 years old, it's not the same of someone of 46 years old that has, I don't know.
Yeah, that was year 3 for me in the sport.
Yeah.
So I could say the same thing, that he had been doing it 10 times longer and come up with excuses if I lost. But at the end of the day, it was a matchup, and I beat his ass. So
And at the same time, remember something. And at the same time, you have to remember something. That when we fight in the UFC,
Jake Paul coat maxing in the Big 26 is crazy. Trying to justify, trying to validate his win over Silva. Shit, that ain't justified, and it definitely sure as hell ain't validated. Keep coping, though.
we are professional athletes. At least that means that we clean. We don't use any steroids.
We do drug testing too. We do USADA drug
I
testing.
don't need
for
that.
all of my fights.
I don't need that. But between
What
me
are you
and you,
talking about?
I'm just saying.
You guys don't even have USADA anymore. What are you talking about?
We have controls all the time. All the time. We have controls. All the time.
Yep.
All the time. I don't know. I don't know if you are in the same pool, but we have the controls all the time.
Course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
of course.
You have positive on everything.
Yeah, 9 positives for the Anthony Joshua fight. Like, people love to use the excuse. Your boss, your daddy Dana, made that up because he was pissed off that I kept on beating all the UFC fighters.
What do you mean when you say you boss your dad? Like, he's my boss,
because
of course.
You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You make probably $2 million a fight, and he just paid.
You're wrong.
Fucking
You're wrong.
Honor
You're
Ben.
wrong. You're wrong.
I know. Trust me. I know exactly
you're wrong.
how much
You're
you make.
wrong.
I know.
You're
Then
wrong.
how come you weren't on the?
You're
then
wrong.
How come you
I'm
weren't on
telling
the
you.
highest paid athletes list?
You're
Then how
wrong.
come you weren't on the highest paid
Of
athletes
course.
list?
Of course. You are gonna
You
see
weren't
that.
on it.
What?
Where were you? We missed you. We missed you on the list this
maybe
year. Where were you?
this year probably I wasn't in that list. Yeah, maybe probably not, bro. But personally,
brother, you get paid as much as an NFL rookie. Like, congrats.
You're wrong. You're
I'm
wrong.
not.
You're wrong.
All right, look, Jake,
I'm telling you.
come to my.
The only thing, the only thing, the difference between me and you is that you value is based on perception, and you need to sell that. You need to say to all your fans how much you're making, because you need to fulfill something that you're missing in yourself. But I don't need anyone to say like how much you're making, whatever I have, whatever I'm wearing. If I'm coming down from a private jet, I'm gonna make whatever I'm doing. I don't need to announce it because I know who I am. I'm not you. I don't need to say to the people and be screaming. Ah.
In other words, though, real quick, it's like, I got the respect. I won the fights. You feel me? I don't got to do all this bragging. I don't got to be doing all this telling you. I did it. I could show you better than I could tell you. I won the fights. I got the belts. I won the fights. I got the belts. What I got to flex, I'm getting off a private jet for. It don't even fucking matter. I beat Max Holloway. I knocked his ass out. I knocked out Volk. I went up to 55. I knocked out Charles' ass too. I don't got to do that shit you're doing, Jake. All that woofing. All that woofing. I could show you better than I could tell you. Go look at my name. I absolutely love this part from Ilia saying he don't got to do this fucking flexing that Jake does constantly. This fronting constantly.
I have this, my new watch, my new car. That's not my personality. That's you. That's you.
Then how come you're wearing a Richard Mille right now?
What?
Then how come you're wearing a Richard Mille then?
Oh, so he can't wear a Richard Mille. That again, Jake is such a clown, bro. It's like because of everything Ilia just said, now Jake's like, well, why are you wearing a Richard Mille? Bro, he's wearing it. He not flexing it. There's a big difference. And he's gonna go ahead and say, you know, it's for a sponsorship. That's what he's about to kind of like hint at.
How can I what?
Then why are you wearing a Richard Mille then right now?
It's like saying, why do you drive a Mercedes and not a Toyota Camry type shit? Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. You can't have nice things. That's not what he's saying.
Because of some reasons that it's gonna be announced very soon.
Bro, because you're going against what you're saying.
Well, why I'm going against what I'm saying? What do you mean?
Jake, yeah, we'll figure it out. I think you guys would be good friends if it comes down to it. You know, I don't want you guys fighting and whatnot.
We're not fighting, but he's owned by Dana, and they just paid Conor Best $15 million. That should bother you.
Listen.
That should bother you.
It doesn't bother me when. No, it doesn't bother me. You know why? Because I make more than that.
No, you don't.
Bro.
How many fights did you have last year?
How many fights did I have? 1.
Yeah. Okay, so then you should have been on the Forbes Sportico top paid athletes list then by what you're saying.
Not yet. Not yet.
You guys.
Not yet.
You guys don't.
Not yet. Not yet. There are a lot of great athletes, and I always like try to compete about like with the great athletes. Like, who gives a?
All right, do you wanna?
I don't give a. You're the one that brought up money.
You brought up the money. You mentioned about like you boss, your dad, and whatever he's saying, you have to do that. Yeah, he's our boss, of course. He created the place where we have the platform and the chance to fight. And you did it for your own. Congratulations, you did an amazing job. Whatever. You happy?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm happy too. I'm very happy.
Great, you guys are happy. It's great.
Whatever I achieved, I'm happy.
Amazing, guys.
So that's why I said, bro, you're a legend. Like I do respect you a lot. Like I think it's fun the talk and all of that stuff. But I think when people are going online constantly and like having things to say that
bro, whatever I'm saying in online, I would tell you like face to face and not in a bad way because I don't disrespect you. But for me, if we're talking about like sport and skills and technique and all that, I don't think that you are great, or I wouldn't put you in a list of the greatest boxers or fighters or whatever. Of course, you said something right that I don't dictate that those lists, but this is my personal opinion. This is what I think. Yeah, no, and if I'm doing something online and they ask me something, this is my answer. This is what I think. I don't have to say something what someone else thinks.
No, and you're entitled to it. But I think that when people say that, I've been waiting for the moment where like a big UFC fighter is actually down to spar after talking because it's gonna be funny when people see what happens.
I would love to fight you. I swear. Let's fight. Like, let's do it. Let's spar. Whatever. Like, I spar every week. I do it. That's my life. You know how is it? How many times do you spar in a week?
Oh, right now, none.
Not right now, but when you're training, like when you.
3 times.
Yeah. So I do it the same. So for me, if instead of Alvaro that I'm sparring, I have to spar with Jake, I have no problem. I do it with a pleasure.
Amazing. We'll set it up, Jake. We'll set it up. We'll set it up. I got you. All right, Jake.
Sorry, Aiden. Aiden's been trying to end the convo for so long.
Yeah. It's all right.
Sorry, Aiden. I've been trying to end the convo for so long. Shut the fuck up, Jake. Don't try to flex your wins over Silva and the rest of the MMA fighters as like, you know, you beat the best MMA fighters. No, you didn't. You beat Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, Ben Askren, and Nate Diaz. Okay, that's not the best UFC fighters. That's the 4 I just named. Now, all right, that's gonna be the stream, boys. So shout out to everybody who watched. Figured we'd end it on Ilia just completely roasting Jake Paul. But yes, now I'm gonna be off to the gym, 10 p.m. lift. And once again, I'll remind you guys, 90 days straight of live streaming starts now, but it is retroactive from Wednesday. So, we'd be live streaming every day, but I'll take, 1 day off from the week or something like that. So no more of that. No more of that. We locked in for the next 90 days, retroactive to Wednesday. So we 3 days in already. And yeah, the start of 90-day live streams, no breaks, 90 days of live streaming. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to shout out the streets, and then we're going to dip. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But shout out America First. Shout out to Otto. Shout out to AD. Shout out to Juice Man. Shout out to John Dong. What's poppin', homie? I see you said sup. You came in a bit late. No worries. I'm sure you can catch up on the stream once it ends. Shout out to Soda Pop. Shout out to Perfecto, Dunn Daughter, Jew, Franklin, M Gal for popping in, AD Kid. I already said AD Kid. JP Money. Shout out, homie. Shout out to Andrew Nance. Member Andrew Nance. Member Jew. All the members. Shout out to you guys. Who else we got in this bitch? Oh, Tony Sal. Member Tony. Much love. Much appreciation for all the viewership. Peace out, homie. Hein. Peace out. M354. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Night Owl. Wang Vlog, new subscriber. Thanks for subbing. We got Owen in this bitch. So shout out to Owen. Shout out to Space Kid. Shout out to everybody in the streets. That's the top of the chat, so I can't see anymore. But all right, peace out to all you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow for what's the card tomorrow? UFC Mexico. So let's all tune in. Everybody pop in the stream tomorrow. UFC Mexico. I'll see you guys there. But if you want to know what fight I'm going to start on, I hear Wes Schultz is a decent fight, but we're not going to watch it. Regina Terran. I know she's like the baddie they're advertising right now. Del Silva de Andrade, Christian Quinones, Chris Mutino. Damn, we're just in for a fucking shit-ass night of fights. Damn, bro. Honestly, I think I'll tune in after the women's fight. I think I'll tune in for Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes, if you guys are wondering. So I'll catch you guys here tomorrow for the Silva de Andrade Javier Reyes fight. I'll be live moving forward from there. Lift these nuts. I'll be lifting a hamburger, In-N-Out 4x4. Mexico fight, hell yeah, let's go. All right, shout out to all you boys. Peace out, boys.